evening and welcome. My name is Letitia Griffin and I'm a consumer advocate, certified credit counselor, and I'm here to talk to you today about your finances, about any types of money problems, debt problems, or issues that you may be having. For the next 30 minutes or so, if you've got any questions at all, feel free to give us a call. The number there on the screen is 312-738-1060. Now, I'm only here for a few minutes, but if you don't get a chance to call in and ask your questions, I want you to know that Family Credit's got counselors on standby, and they are available to assist you and answer any questions that you may have regarding debt, regarding finances, regarding any type of advice that you need with your finances. They are there to help. I want you to take advantage of the chat feature on the website at familycredit.org. The great thing about that is that you can chat on live with a counselor and ask any questions. So if you don't want to come on the air, you're a little bit shy, it's fine, I understand, but you can go online to familycredit.org and chat with a certified counselor, ask any question that you have. So, over the past few weeks, we've been talking about your finances and dealing with your budgeting, overcoming credit challenges, and we'll continue, we'll wrap up next week just talking about a financial plan and dealing with overcoming those credit challenges. But today we're going to take a few moments, some special time, and just talk about the importance of teaching children about money. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight. We've got a lot of information, and I don't want that to stop your questions. So if you've got some other questions about finances and about debt, about money management issues, feel free to go ahead and give us a call and ask those questions. Now, when we think about just teaching kids about money, and I know growing up, I didn't learn a lot about money. It wasn't something that we talked about. All we knew is that money came in, the bills were paid, and that was something that the parents struggled with. But we didn't know how it happened. And so a lot of children are walking around today thinking that money does grow on trees or that an ATM gives out free money. So we want to be able to educate our children and educate them as they grow up and become productive citizens. We need to make sure that we instill the right values in them. And so we want to start while they're young. It's never too early to start teaching about money. And the first thing when we look at teaching kids about money, we want to make sure that we've taught them what the basis of money is and dealing with finances, but it's all first about looking at needs versus wants. And sometimes we need to make sure that we even know that. I know sometimes people may struggle with that. We all struggle with making that purchase or whether we should buy an item or we should wait and save for it. So if we're struggling with that now, imagine how our children are going to struggle with it, especially if we never talk to them about finances. So that's why I do agree that it's always great to let kids know and let kids in on finances and ask any questions. Looks like we've got a caller though. We'll get right back to the needs versus wants. Hi caller, welcome to the show. Hi, you there?
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Hi, okay, how do you teach children the value of money without letting them spend every dollar they are given?
That's a great question because lots of kids, once they get money, that's the first thing that they want to do. But before you give them that money, it's always great to establish a plan. Now, what I want you to do is talk to your children about money, and the way that they do it, they need to set aside certain amounts of money. So sometimes you may even want to start off by paying them in change. And I know it seems tedious and a lot of people don't have change nowadays, but just depending on how much you want to give them. Let's say if they have $1, you may want to break that dollar up and tell them, okay, with this dollar we're going to take 25 cents from that dollar and we're going to put that into a savings account, okay? And then we're going to take another 25 cents and we're going to use this for charity or giving or anything like that. And then the rest of it you can spend on whatever you want. But you need to make sure that you always save. We want to teach our children that saving is important and it's the key to them having success because it really is. A lot of times we struggle in life without knowing what's coming next or having money to pay for things. But if we start teaching them while they're young, then yes, when you get money, you save first. Make sure that you save a portion of that. And that will go a long ways in helping them understand. Also, with saving, you can also give them certain incentives. Kind of like the banks give us incentives or interest when we save money at the bank. We can possibly even do that with our children. We'll talk a little bit about that too, because saving is a great foundation to teach our children. It's something that they need. And when you're looking at it, let's say you've got this 50 cents that they're ready to spend. Okay, what do you plan on spending it on? Let's sit down and go over with them before they start making those decisions and running out and spending everything. What do you think you're going to spend that money on? And see what they have to say. Then when they say maybe it's just some ice cream or something small, some candy, okay, is that something that you need or something that you want? And I know right off the bat, a lot of times the kids will say, well, it is something that I need. But we really need to teach them a little bit more about needs versus wants. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi there, this is a great topic you're discussing today. I just wanted to ask, when I was 15, I believe it was, when I got my first job, my first paying job, my mom would make me give her a portion of my check. To this day, I don't know what she used it for. I'm assuming house bills. But do you think that that's something that is helpful in teaching kids about, money made is not exactly, money that you keep all of it? Or do you think that children should be able to keep all of their paychecks since they worked for it?
That is a really touchy subject and something that it really depends on what your plans are and what your family values and family goals are. And I do love the fact that your mom held a portion of your paycheck, because that's teaching you that, okay, it's not just about your paycheck and you getting money, but now you've got to pay a bill. So it's kind of like, even though you were giving that portion to your mother, you were being disciplined that you don't have the whole paycheck, because once you grow up, you really don't. There's so many bills that we have to pay. There's things that come out of our checks that we don't even think about. So that helps discipline you and helps discipline the child that even though you've got all this money, it's not really all yours to keep. So it looks like we've got a great topic. I love the calls that are coming in. If you don't get a chance to call during this show, I do want you to contact a counselor at 800-994-3328. And that way you can speak directly with a counselor and get some more help about how to teach your children financial literacy. One of the great tools that are available at Family Credit, this tool, I do want to let you know that you can call in and ask the counselor for that. And it's a great interactive tool. I'll show it to you a little bit closer. It's Catherine and Elizabeth Go Shopping. Now this book was actually written by the counselors at Family Credit, and it's a great story written by Sarah Beth O'Neill. And you, in this, you get to show your children how everything has an opportunity cost. You get to show the importance of saving. You get to show how to actually think about the decisions and needs versus wants. Now this cute little book has the greatest, the funniest little story that kids understand. It's very interactive, and they are able to relate to it. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. This is available for free if you contact Family Credit, and you can have them send this to you. And it also makes a great gift idea. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi. I was wondering, what are some cheaper free activities for kids to do over the summer?
Okay, there are so many different activities that are available throughout the city of Chicago, so I do want you to take advantage of that. And a lot of the museums are offering free days for you to go into the museum. As long as you live in the Chicagoland area, you can go in, take your ID, and they offer you a free admission. There are some that do discounted admission, so those are some great activities for you to take advantage of too. Also, with the summer, this is also a great time for neighborhood festivals and carnivals to be happening. Now I know the carnivals you do have to pay for, but there are a lot of activities that you don't have to pay for, like certain fests that are happening in the area. So you do want to look in your neighborhoods and see what's happening. Those are great to take advantage of. Also, you can plan a family outing or a trip to a park where you can have lunch together. Those are some great ideas for you to take advantage of. And also just even going for a nice walk in your neighborhood or downtown Chicago. Those are some ways that you can save money and not necessarily have to spend. Now, you do need to establish right up front, you let the kids know, okay, this is a trip for educational purposes, or we're not going to really spend any money on this trip. We're going to bring our lunch. Those are things that you can do to actually show them that to have family fun and to save money while you're doing that. It's all about the right attitude that we have when we're presenting these ideas to our children too. So even though you may think it's not that great of an idea, pump it up in your child's head. Let them think that it's something, because a lot of times if you show excitement for it, they will too. So you say, oh, we're going to go to the park and we're going to play the neighborhood water park. And they get excited about that. And you say, we're going to have lunch in the park. Those are some other ideas. Also, there are a lot of neighborhoods that offer free movies outside in the park too. And I know downtown Chicago, they offer those. So those are some things that you can take advantage of as well. It's all in how you present the ideas to the children, teaching them more about money. Because they have to know that money doesn't actually grow on trees. So, like I said, you can call into Family Credit and get a copy of the book. I do want you to do that because that is a great, great option. Again, that's 800-994-3328. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello. Do you think it's important for students to get a student loan?
What do you mean by student loans? Like, are you in college or going to college? Or?
Soon to be going to college.
Okay. Now, a lot of times when you're going to college, you think about going to college, but you don't actually think about the costs. And college costs a lot of money. So it's something that you do want to start planning for, and you do want to look at the costs. And there are student loans out there, and they're there for a reason, because college costs so much money that it's not likely that you have the money to cover it. So you do want to look at student loans, but you only want to look at it as an option. First, I do want you to look at everything else. There are a lot of scholarships that are offered and some grant programs that you may be able to qualify for, which will help reduce the cost that you actually have to pay. Because the thing about student loans is that it's a loan, and once you're out of college, you need to pay that money back. And when you think about the debt load that comes along with it, you're not talking about paying back $500. You're talking about thousands and thousands, depending on how long you're in school. So that's why you do want to think about that. And if you're in high school, start looking at scholarships that are available. See what you qualify for, what you can apply for. Now, there's lots of scholarships that can be based on your academic achievements, that can be based on your extracurricular activities. So if you are, let's say, a cheerleader, there's scholarships available. If you're on the basketball team, sports team, those scholarships are available. But there are also scholarships that are available maybe based off of your demographics, or where you live, or where you plan to go to college, what type of college you plan on going to. So those are things that you want to think about ahead of time. And maybe even and do a little bit of investigation. If you're not in college yet, not in high school, and you're thinking about college, sometimes even looking at your children, you want to look at a 529 plan too. And we'll talk about that in a second too. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. So I sort of had a question on life after student loans. I hope I didn't jump in on the wrong part of the conversation. But after you paid those off, in terms of saving for just like your life and your life goals, how much as a good rule of thumb, should you put away for, let's say, a down payment on a home? How much of your paycheck should you be saving? And if you planned on getting married, like how much should you save for a wedding or something like that?
Okay. Well, it seems like you've got a lot of savings goals in mind, and the important thing is that you want to save whatever you can. And you have to think about that the most successful people in life, they are not really spenders. They save everything that they can. They nickel and dime. They look at whatever cost that they can cut to save whatever you can. Now, it's always been said that a great rule of thumb when you're starting off in life is that you want to be able to have at least 6 months worth of your income saved for emergencies. And if you are thinking about buying a home, of course you need the standard rule of thumb is 20% down of the purchase price. Now, there's a lot of programs that will help with that, so you don't necessarily need to get into it. But You want to try and save as much as you can so that you're not struggling trying to find financing. And so many people struggle because they don't have the down payment for the home. They don't know where to start. They don't have enough to cover the wedding costs, so they may think of going to City Hall. So it's just all in investing in your future, looking at your future, where you plan it now, and just take a rough inventory before you even hit the ground running once you get out of college. So you want to see, where do I want my life to go? And think about that. So if I know that right now we live in a neighborhood and my home is worth $100,000, do I think I want around this type of house when I get older? Okay, so that tells me that I need to start saving for the down payment as soon as I can. And I know you may think that those are questions that maybe you're not supposed to be thinking about now, but if you're a teenager, those are the types of questions that you really do need to have in your head. Where do I want my future to go? Because yes, it will cost you, and you do need to be prepared with whatever direction that you choose in life. So I do want to caution you to save as much as you can. Now, if you start taking 10% out of everything that you have and make sure that you're putting that in a savings account and you're not touching it, I guarantee you'll be far better off in the future than most Americans. So you want to take 10% at least. And it's also about learning to live on what you can, what you have right now. So if you've got $1 and you're putting it away, that 10 to 25 cents out of every dollar, it's going to go a long ways. One of the things with dealing with small children that you even want to think about is that while you're teaching kids about money, they're visual. They like to see things. They like to see that their money is growing. So you can start off with maybe having a piggy bank or a clear jar for them to put their money in and save, so that while over time and it's growing, they actually see the progress that they're making. They see the money coming in. They see that their jar is full or their bank is full. And once it gets full, you can even make a huge deal out of that and turn that into a family outing of taking them to the bank to cash in their coins and see how much they actually have. So that's another great alternative, or things that you can do with your family just to help teach them about money or to install those values early while they're children. We want to make sure that we teach our children that there is an opportunity cost for every decision that they make. When I say opportunity cost, what we mean by that is that when you do something, there is a cost for everything that you do. There is a cost for everything that is out there. So we want to be able to teach our children that when they pick one idea, they're giving up something else. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello. How young should children be to begin learning about money?
I think that children should begin when they are able to recognize things and to start saying, I want, can I have? That's when you start laying the groundwork for financing. And that just right then you can teach them about needs versus wants and the cost of money. Now you may think that it's a little bit early, but you do want to kind of ease them into it. And there are some great sites out there, some great things that you can do, some websites that you can use as well. Also, you can contact Family Credit and get a copy of this book that you can use as a nighttime story to read to your children and start to teach them about money. It's about how we introduce those ideas into our children's lives. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi. I have a question. How do you recommend balancing household chores and allowance to maximize teachable moments?
Ooh, that we have not gotten to yet, but that is a perfect point that I'm glad you're bringing up. It's always great to teach children about money, and starting with the allowance. An allowance is not something that you think should be given just off the bat. It should be something that you use to teach and install the values and concepts of money and the importance of work and doing a good job at work. You want to let them know that by you using the allowance as something of a reward system, is teaching them to be accountable for their actions, to make sure that they get the job done and they do it right. Because there's so many people out there that are struggling with that whole concept of being held accountable anyway, especially when it comes to finances. So if you're using the chores to instill that and to reinforce it, okay, well, you do want this idea, you do want this toy, you do want to make this, you want me to run out and spend $20 on this toy, but you do need to put something into it. You need to work on earning it. And what are some things that you can do around the house to earn it? If you assign chores or if you just ask that they do something, really, whatever method works for you. But you do want to use chores as a way to help hold your children accountable and to teach them the foundations of a paycheck, why they work, and the importance of understanding money and that they're not getting free money. Because you don't want them to think that everything in life comes free. And I know that's something that a lot of people struggle with, but it's an important concept that we do want to make sure that we lay the values and the groundwork for finances with our children. And that is just a perfect point that we want to be able to use that. You can think of it as giving commission, not allowances. So you want to make sure when you pay for a job or you get a commission, that job is complete. You want to make sure it's done right. And if it's not done right, hold them accountable. You can either try taking away some of the allowance or just withholding it until they do the job right. So we've had a lot of great questions about finances, about teaching kids money. And you want to also think about, once they reach that teen set, is it okay for them to have a bank account? And you can think about that and take them to a local bank that offers teen accounts. We know that Chase Bank offers a great children's account. They've got a great teens account. Wintrust Bank has a great teen product out there, a great teen account too. So you want to think about those places that will offer that to help teach accountability, responsibility, and lay the foundation for teaching kids about money. Again, contact Family Credit for a copy of this book. And we've got, I think, a couple more shows, or we'll be talking about other overcoming money challenges again next week. So we will see you then. We look forward to it. And if you have any questions, like I said, you can contact the counselor at Family Credit, 800-994-3328. And we will see you next week. Take care.